Man, do we like killing Nazis. Nazis have become the go-to enemy for countless shooters since Wolfenstein 3D. I think I have killed more virtual Nazis than there were people living in Germany in the 1940s. I have killed Nazis on the beaches of Normandy, zombie Nazis in research facilities, and even on the moon. They are everywhere. Turning Point Fall of Liberty decided that history was too boring for killing Nazis, so they created their own what-if situation so they could create their own history. The game depicts a world in which Winston Churchill died in 1931 and thus wasn't alive to lead England through World War II. The game starts off with a punch in the gut. It says, "What if Winston Churchill didn't survive?" And the next thing you see is a swarm of Nazi planes attacking New York as you rush to get down from your skyscraper. At this point, you start to think, okay, this game might have something going for it. The graphics are not great, but those are not necessary for a great game. If the shooting is solid, then this game could turn out to be a decent time. So I'm escaping down the skyscraper, things are falling apart all around me, it's getting pretty intense. Then I see a Nazi parachute down. I run up to attack, I attack the Nazi and take his gun, and the game just goes downhill from there. The shooting feels weak and unresponsive. There's very little feedback to shooting the gun. It is hard to tell if you are actually hitting anything, so you will just spray bullets all over the place and not know if you're actually killing anyone. I miss the days of Wolfenstein, when every time you killed someone, they would scream, "My Leben!" Ah, those were the days. But this plot is kind of interesting. Let's see if they can keep it up. Nope. The game quickly turns away from everything that was interesting about the beginning of the game for something much more generalized. The story goes from something kind of intriguing to very boring faster than you can say the word Nazi. You reach the ground and instantly you become part of the resistance. This boils down to running along the ground and killing all the Nazis in generic environments. Look at all the great areas you get to kill Nazis in. You could travel through the streets, and then you can go through the sewers, and then even more streets. Eventually the game takes you to multiple locations such as Washington DC and London, but those are just more of the same. Apparently, because of Churchill's death, the Nazis decided to have a Zeppelin program. That was the only thing holding back the Zeppelin building program. I hope you enjoy shooting Zeppelins, because you're going to be doing a lot of it. Every section usually ends with some type of Zeppelin battle. These are somewhat interesting at first, but become very mundane and boring. That is a good representation for this game. It starts off interesting and filled with seemingly good ideas, but as the game goes on, each idea falls flat or they just abandon the idea completely. There is no reason to play this game. It is filled with boring and repetitive gameplay that is not even that good. The game has you going through boring looking locations and doesn't even have good enough shooting mechanics to make it all worthwhile. With the FPS genre being so oversaturated right now, games have to feel great and offer something fresh to get noticed. Turning Point does not offer either of these and deserves to be forgotten and at the bottom of the bargain bin.